I have a certain relationship to America.
Mm-hmm.
I think my relationship to America, it's a fluid one. It's not rigid. Like I feel like, you know, as an immigrant, I've always been in this position. I'm trying to understand America. Because I didn't come into this world of being an American with the formed identity. I mean, I had to really construct the identity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I realized how situational it is, because first I was in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember wanting to be a cheerleader and wanting to have big hair and be like, you know, like a Southern belle,
Mm-hmm.
basically. And I remember being even in classes where someone was trying to teach us how to be like a Southern belle, like teaching us manners and...
Official classes?
Yeah, well, it was part of like drill team training. But this woman who was teaching us is a Southern belle, and so she was trying to teach us how to be like a lady, Southern lady.
Did you learn how to sit?
I don't remember the details. I just remember just thinking like, oh, I have to learn how to behave like this or look like her. And as soon as I moved to Maryland, I get to school and I look around and everyone looks so different from Texas. And I couldn't figure out why. I felt like, are these people just Europeans? Like, I don't understand. They don't look American. And then it wasn't until, I don't know, second, third, fourth day of school that someone explained to me that most of the students were Jewish. Like, more than 70% of the students were Jewish.
Well, as you were driving me up to drop me off
Mm-hmm.
to fly back to Denver, pack things up, and get
Mm-hmm.
ready for shooting this film,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of had an epiphany about what the film was about. So I just wanted you to try to summarize that.
What exactly?
That it's an identity search.
Oh yeah, so it is definitely a search for America's identity, but my own as well. And I know that I've been kind of putting off spending time in the South. I would hear friends talk disparagingly about the South, and I can understand it, but at the same time I always felt a little defensive about it as well. And like part of me always thought, okay, people don't really get the South, and that there are really good things about the South that I want people to see, and at the same time I want people in the South to be able to talk to the rest of the country.
Okay.
Because I feel like they kind of have made a proud tradition out of just being themselves and not and feeling like they don't need to reconcile with other people. They don't need to talk to other people. You know, and they call it independence, but I think it's partly they feel rejected. Like people in the South actually feel rejected by the rest of the country, so they're going to call it being fiercely independent. When I feel they're dealing with a sense of rejection.
Mm-hmm. Well, you also were saying as we drove up that you didn't feel like you could do an identity search without talking to as many people as possible. Why was that?
Well, I need to talk to more people because, like everybody else, like it's very easy to surround yourself with people who think like you, and you get into your own bubble, right? And so I need to get out of that bubble. I need to see more of America, talk to more people, and really focus on...
But you can't really say you're in a bubble because you talk to people in Libya and use the internet to extend that bubble. What I liked what you were saying when we drove up was that you didn't want to limit your identity construction to what you already know at this point. It's not necessarily a bubble, but without doing certain things that I want you to say what we're going to do, since this is the beginning of the movie. Without doing those things, you're limiting your quest. Even the way you design your quest will be limited to what you already know, even though it is more expansive than the average American.
Yeah, so I definitely feel that I need to see more and go through a kind of journey. I need to go deeper. I need to question my own assumptions. I need to be able to ask big questions about America, but about myself as well. You know, I think that road trip genre has always intrigued me. You know, that American road trip, where it's like, you know, Jack Kerouac's On the Road, even Tocqueville's Democracy in America, and you know, all these stories that have been told from being on the road and meeting new people, and seeing how, you know, what expansive America is, and how quirky and lovable it can be, because there are so many different types of people. I can't say I'm part of the Washington bubble or one of the insiders or anything like that, but you know, you get used to thinking somehow you're the center of the country when, you know, you're in one place. You know, and I don't want to become one of these people who make assumptions like they know everything about this country when they never leave Washington.
Or wherever they are. I
Yeah,
mean,
or
isn't
wherever
part
they
of the
are.
problem is that we all have different stories and different narratives, and,
Yeah.
and there isn't enough cross-fertilization.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I also grew up working at this diner. I grew up working at this diner that was most of the customers were truck drivers.
I mean, I don't think we have time for long stories, but just like
Honey, don't get irritated with me. You're the one who
Okay.
wants to do this. I mean,
I know.
I'm just talking.
Okay, but
Okay,
I'm just
you're
saying,
just killing
I gotta
it.
catch a plane.
I know, but I mean, I don't know what you want. If you want something specific, ask me.
Okay, I think you made an important statement when I wasn't using my iPhone to record you. Too many people focus their identity on what they themselves have experienced, and it's limited by definition. And with technology, and also with the unique life experiences that you've already had, which in their diversity have opened your eyes to the fact that it can't be, you know, the Texas that you knew, the Maryland that you've known, the Boston that you've known, the Virginia that you've known, the Los Angeles that you've known, the Korea that you've known. They're so diverse that you know that America's story cannot be limited to what you already know, that you have to have a more expansive view. Because isn't that really the problem? Why are we so divided? Is that our identity and our idea of America's identity is limited to our provincial existence. And here we are on the cusp of an information age where we don't have to be limited in that way.
It's about whether or not your universe is static or dynamic, or if it's contracting or expanding. Do you think that our identity is some permanently fixed thing that we just see and discover one day, or if it's a more creative process? To me, what's great about America is that you can be very creative about your identity. And America can be creative about its identity. That, in a way, you could say, in paradoxically, that is the fixed thing about American identity, is it's like essentially a very creative, dynamic process. You know, and if you think that your identity can be found if you unwrap the Constitution or the Bible, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss the point of this country, that this is about being creative. We create and constitute our identity, and so, you know, I guess it's, I feel like in some ways I want people to see America as like a canvas where we can create something different and new from what we've had before even. And I know there are lots of creative people out there. That's the entrepreneurial, creative people out there doing all kinds of fascinating things that you and I can't even imagine sitting in this car.
And so?
So I want to meet those people who are in that process of creating, going through transformation and metamorphosis and inventing and innovating. I want to catch people in those moments being very creative about our identity or their identity. This is why I can't get with what Glenn says, because I feel like he's approaching it like there's some Ark of the Covenant and you open it and there it is, the truth and our identity and the Bible, you know, and that's not, existentially speaking, I just don't think that's how my identity works or how American identity works. It's not going to be wrapped in a shroud.
It's not in a document, it's not in an ark, it's not in a shroud. Where is it? Because we have to go find it.
Well, I think it's in our imagination. It's
But then why do we have to travel?
because we have to be stimulated by what other people are doing. You know, I want to see what people are doing. I want to witness these, very creative acts being taken every single day. I feel compelled to be on this journey to help figure out what our national identity is, because that is one of the things missing in our national dialogue, is the sense of collective identity. And I feel like it does require a journey for me, both geographical and psychological journey, where I have to be open to seeing new things and hearing from new people. I can't just go based on my narrow set of experiences and what I have seen of America. I feel like I need to see more and talk to more people instead of just narrating based on what I happen to know right now.
Hold on, I'm going to start filming now.